Hey students, it's Mrs. T, and this is the syllabus video. You need to watch this video not only to familiarize yourself with the kinds of assignments and the policies and procedures that are specific to my class, but there's also information in here that is relevant to the entire college of UAPTC, and some quiz questions from quiz 1 will come from this particular video. So I'll make it as short as I can, as quick as possible, but please do watch it through to the end because you're responsible for this information. So I'm Mrs. T. My full name is Mary Kate Terrell. You can see on the screen behind me or see on the syllabus. If you're looking at that through Blackboard, you can see all my contact information, my location, and all that kind of stuff. So there's my department chair's information, my dean's information. You've got my cell phone number listed in Blackboard. Notice here under phone, I don't have a phone listed, but please find my cell phone number in Blackboard because that's how you'll get a hold of me, whether you're a face-to-face student, a webinar student, an online student. The best way to get a hold of me anytime is through text message, and you can text me 24/7. I really mean that. I have my phone on silent most of the time, so if you text me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I probably won't get it until 5, and I'll respond to you then, but please do text me as soon as possible. You need to do that before you take the quiz anyway, because there's a quiz question, or maybe two, on the response that I gave you about when you texted me. I need your name and what class you're in and that kind of stuff in the text message, and all that's explained in Blackboard when you read the announcement, the first announcement for our class. Okay, and so this is sociology, introductory sociology, and our course materials are available to you in our Blackboard class. That is, we have an ebook linked in our Blackboard class. So if you go to course content in our Blackboard class, the very first thing that you'll see listed there is access to your ebook. Now, I am not an ebook person myself. I really like a copy I can hold in my hand and smell and hear the pages rustle. That's just me. This gray hair is real, so I guess you can call me old-fashioned. But if you happen to like a physical copy also, for whatever reason, you have to opt out of this ebook in order to not have to pay for it. If you only want to buy a physical copy and not pay for two, like the ebook and the physical copy, then you have to opt out. And instructions on how to do that are listed in the syllabus. I'll show you in just a second. But anyway, so if you want a physical copy, you don't have to buy the 12th edition, which is the current one. The 10th through the 11th will work just fine. But you do need a book. You don't need all of the other course add-ons that I've never even seen it before because I don't use it, but apparently through the textbook publisher, there's like quizzes and flashcards and stuff like this. I'm sure they're great. If you want them, great. Get them, use them. They will not hurt you at all, but you don't get any points in this class for doing stuff from the textbook website. It's only the stuff that you're instructed to do through the videos that I give you to watch and the links for things that I post in the weekly folders in our Blackboard class. So, so you have access to your ebook day one. You are being charged for it. If you don't want to be charged for it, all you have to do is go to the bookstore. Here's all the text, emails and the websites and stuff like this. All you have to do is go to the bookstore before the census date, which is the 11th day of class, and tell them you don't want it, and they'll take it off your account. There are no consequences in this class for opting out of the online textbook. You do need a textbook, but you can have it in any format that you want to. So please decide that, because you need to know you are being charged. It's not expensive, but you are being charged for the online textbook, which is available to you from day one. So if you want to opt out, follow those instructions on the syllabus, please. Okay, so moving on, we have the mission of the college. We have the learning outcomes that we want to impart to students as they go through various programs of the college. We have our program, which is the general education program, which the sociology class is primarily a part of. It's also part of culinary and some other allied health programs and things like this, because you need to know about society and human behavior. And so that's what we learn about in this class. So we're part of, in general, this transfer program that we have. And so these course learning outcomes and program learning outcomes are listed on this syllabus. For our particular class, we're going to use these outcomes here. So these outcomes come from the state of Arkansas, and my colleagues and I got together and wrote them in a way where we can measure them and we can be sure to achieve them within the semester, and it's realistic for you to be able to complete them. And so that's what all of our lessons focus on, some part of one of these four learning outcomes. So there is no busy work in this class, and when I post videos for you to watch every single week, which I do post video lectures for you to watch and take notes on every single week, it's not busy work, it's not optional, it's required. If you're my face-to-face student, we will do all of that together in class, and you don't ever have to watch videos unless you are absent and you need to make up those lectures that you missed in person. So face-to-face students have access to the same videos that online students and webinar students have access to. But the only difference between a face-to-face class and an online class is face-to-face, if you attend every class, the video watching is optional. If you miss a class, you have to watch the videos for that day to catch yourself up. But online students, you have to watch everything. Sorry, you're stuck with me for this semester. But hopefully it's fun. I get good feedback about the videos, so hopefully you will, you'll agree and that you'll get a lot out of this class. That's my goal. I want you to get all of the tools in your toolbox that you need to achieve all of these learning outcomes. And I hope that I make the class fun enough so that by the end of the semester, you're thinking, wow, I can't believe that I just learned all this because I didn't even notice I was learning it. We were just having kind of fun discussions and activities and, creating ideas and things like that together. So that's my philosophy for class. And in class, we are going to specifically just be polite and respectful of each other. You're an adult, I'm an adult, and so we're going to treat each other like adults. We're going to treat each other the way we would like to be treated. You're going to text me if you ever need something. Here's my phone number right here. You're going to participate in discussion boards and activities when you're called on to do so or when you're assigned to do that. You are going to create your own due date calendar for stuff that's due. If I announce it in class or if I say it in a content folder, such and such is due on Sunday at midnight, make yourself your own calendar reminders for that because you cannot trust Blackboard. I don't know why, but you can't trust the Blackboard calendar to always remind you if you're expecting it to remind you. There have been so many glitches over the years that my students have complained to me about with the Blackboard calendar, and I'm with you. I hear you. I can do nothing about it. It's just glitches that people run into. That's my best explanation. So please create your own due date calendar for the assignments that we will go over momentarily. And also, academic integrity means, are you honest or are you dishonest with doing your own work? Are you using your big sister's paper that she published or she submitted 2 years ago when she was a student at UALR? Are you recycling it and using it yourself? That's called cheating. And so if you have AI compose something for you, we have AI checkers that go through all of these things, all the submissions. We have plagiarism checkers. We have all this kind of stuff that kind of stop checks at the school to make sure that you're doing your own work. And honestly, that's why you're here. You're here to grow and to learn and to just be more sure of yourself in the world. Honestly, that's what my class does for you, is if you stick with me and you help me help you learn, then you will just be so proud of yourself by the end of this class, and you will just have a different understanding of life. Your feet will be standing on firm ground. That's just how you'll feel at the end of a class like this, because we look at life in so many different angles, and you'll be proud of yourself, and so will I. So you're going to do your own work in my class. In other words, if you don't do your own work in this class, you get an F in the course. If I can prove, I'm not just going to accuse people willy-nilly, but if it is provable that you've plagiarized, that you've cheated, or you've colluded, please read these words carefully here that I have looked at dictionary.com to give you these definitions. If I discover that you do any of these things and it's proven beyond the shadow of a doubt not just an empty accusation. I don't want you to be guilty of these things, but it's up to you to not be guilty of these things. And so please don't do them. Let me help you every step of the way. Even though I might be your online teacher, I want to be very hands-on with you. I want to really make sure that you get a lot from this class and that you grow from it, and that you are just more confident and sure of your path in adulthood after we're finished with this class. So help me help you make that happen. Okay, so our grading policy. We have the same grading policy as every other class at UAPTC. It's a standard grading policy throughout the whole school. And so let's talk about specifically our class. How are we going to earn points? There's 4 tests, 100 points each, 10 reaction papers, 10 points each for 100 points total, and 10 quizzes, 1 each week. You can skip some. I'll talk about that in just a second. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, my nose is itching. Ooh, pardon me. There we go. Anyway, and all of this totals up to 600 points in the class. Now, sometimes I will refer to the test as a project because it's not really a test that's timed, it's multiple choice, and you have to do this, that. Sometimes I will ask you, sometimes I'll give you like 10 days, 2 weeks or something to do a test. I'll ask you, watch this video before you answer these questions, or Matt, look at your notes and I'm going to give you a scenario and you're going to match the scenario to the theory or something like this. And so, it's not your traditional test where you have to do multiple choice questions and then an essay or something that's closed book or whatever. So it's like activities to do, but they're each 100 points. And sometimes there'll be, multiple choice as part of it, or true false as part of it, maybe a short essay question as part of it. But it's much more like activity based rather than your standard traditional test. Okay, there's weekly reaction papers and there's weekly quizzes, but please notice that I have this word kind of emphasized with italics because there's like a caveat to that I'm going to go into in another video. So as soon as we finish with this, which will be like 2 more minutes, then I'm going to do a separate video only about reaction papers and another video only about quizzes. Because people have a lot of questions about that and I want to clear it up in your mind as much as I possibly can. So it's 600 points in the semester. We'll come back to that in another video. And yes, there's extra credit. You're going to have a discussion board. I'll talk about that in the other video also. And so there's extra credit built into it along the way. Okay. So another part of our syllabus is our course schedule. You will find this on the Start Here page in Blackboard also. So our course schedule goes from our very first day of class all the way through, scrolling fast there, all the way through our very last day of class, which is week 17. I count Thanksgiving week as a week, so that's why it says 17. But anyway, the 17th week from now is the last 3 days of our class, of our semester, because it's the last 3 days of exams. And so I have everything listed carefully through here of when we're going to have what quiz and when what reaction paper is due. And so you can set the alarms on your phone schedule or however you're going to determine your schedule. You can set those alarms now so that you don't miss any of these deadlines. And if there's ever any update to any of these, I will mention it in class. I'll send it out in an announcement. And so you can fix your calendar. And you always have my cell phone number, so you can ask me a question anytime. I'm here for you. Put me to work. I'm your teacher. Make me work for you. That's what needs to happen. Okay. Stand up for yourself and make me work for you. So this is our schedule. You can refer to it anytime, and it's in a couple different places on Blackboard, and then it's on our syllabus. This class does not have a course agreement form. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling over this stuff kind of quickly. This is standard things that every syllabus has, so please make sure that you're familiar with it, especially if you need to take advantage of any of these things. But I do want to mention, because I always get questions, this class does not have a course agreement form that you're going to fill out in Blackboard or that you're going to print out and scan in and send back to me. It's called Quiz 1. We're going to do Quiz 1 in Blackboard instead. So look at your course logistics folder, the place where you got the link to this video, and you will find Quiz 1, but don't take it until you watch the other videos in this folder too. Okay, so thank you, and watch the other videos because I'm going to give you some really detailed information about those other assignments. See you soon.